Hey there. So I was talking to my uncle a while back who collects comics also, and we got to talking about Kite-Man, and we realized that I have a lot of the early appearances of Kite-Man, and with his new cartoon coming out on Max, I thought now would be a good time to look at this issue. This is Batman 133, and this is the first appearance of Kite-Man. Now, I think I got this book originally years ago because of the cover with Batwoman, Batmite, and Ace the Bat Hound on it. But inside here is Crimes of the Kite-Man. And so this is Kite-Man's first appearance in the comics. And I thought we'd take a look at this. This is from 1960. And, comics back then didn't have credits. We still have the Bob Kane, Ghost logo here, the autograph, signature by him, even though he didn't probably work on this book that much. The credits I found for this do attribute the writing to Bill Finger, and the art for this story to Dick Sprang. So a really good Batman pedigree here. But I thought we'd take a look at this. And so here, starting off, we have our splash page with Batman flying on a giant dragon kite. And then here is our first look at Kite-Man going, trying to escape with a big, almost like a hang glider type kite he has here. Now, this one really feels like, as we'll go through this story, we all know that back in sort of like the Julie Schwartz era of comics, they were sort of famous for coming up with a catchy cover first and then kind of building a story around from that. That's really how this feels with this splash page here, and we'll kind of get to that towards the climax of the story here. But starting off, we have Batman and Robin heading to a penthouse reception for a visiting India Raja. And at the beginning here, Robin says, I'm hungry. I hope we don't have to wait long for lunch. And Batman tells him, relax, Robin. There'll be plenty of food. The Raja is a very wealthy man. Isn't Bruce Wayne also a wealthy man? I don't feel like Dick Grayson should be going hungry here. But so then they go to the rooftop of this penthouse, and there is a big kite up there kind of flying around. And then someone hits a switch on it, and it sends an electric signal to the kite, and the kite drops these tear gas bombs. And then down on the street, we see Kite-Man here, who inflates a compressed kite and then shoots up with jets. So already, that's not a kite. Right out of the gate, he's going by with something that's more like a motorized hang glider or something like that. So, not a kite. So then he comes in, he's able to steal this ruby from the Raja, and he kind of gets the drop on Batman and Robin here. So just showing off, right away, this is still not too far away from how Kite-Man looks now. So he's still got the sort of green and yellow color motif. We still have the kite emblem on his helmet here. So his look has changed a little bit, over the years, but this is still, pretty recognizable as Kite-Man here, is what we know now. As he tries to get away, Robin tries to lasso onto him, and he is sort of pulled away as Kite-Man takes off, and Robin drops into an open water tank. So then, though, we see in the ensuing days, the Kite-Man and his crime kites make headline news. So here, Batman and Robin talk about a couple other robberies that the Kite-Man has pulled off. And I'm like, well, this is a comic book. Let's show, not tell. But it's only 8 pages, so they must not have been able to get to that. And so then, kind of keeping with the kite motif, Batman and Robin are trying to figure out what Kite-Man's next move is. Batman tells Robin there is a motorboat kite skiing contest today that he's been asked to judge. Now, this is Gotham. Keeping that in mind, it's like, okay, that's totally where Kite-Man's going to be. That's kind of like what the other Batman villains would get up to. Crimes that kind of fit their theme, their motif. So they're like, that's where he's going to be. Not so fast. A giant kite appears over a prison yard where Kite-Man helps this criminal, was it Big Bill Collins, escape from the prison yard. So we've got a big platform here, and Kite-Man and his men getting Collins out of there. Then Batman and Robin hear on the police radio that Kite-Man has helped Collins escape. So then they commandeer this motorboat with another giant kite that Batman hangs onto. Batman jumps off of the kite onto Kite-Man's platform. And as they're fighting, Kite-Man thinks to himself, only way to stop him now, with a kite. I feel like there's a lot of other ways to stop him here. But again, Kite-Man's trying to stay on brand. It's Gotham. So Kite-Man distracts him with the kite. But then it turns out that Big Bill Collins has a gun ready. And so he just sort of sucker punches him with the gun. So meanwhile, Kite-Man captures Batman and takes him back to his hideout, where his plan is to attach Batman to a giant kite and let other criminals come take pot shots at him. Meanwhile, in his cell, Batman rips off some of the loose wallpaper, making his own kite that he then flies out of his prison cell here, so that Robin will hopefully see him and come rescue him. Later, Kite-Man comes back with some criminals to, supposedly shoot at Batman out of a giant kite. But then it turns out Robin has showed up and has freed Batman. And so they distract him with Batman distracts the criminals with this flash of this flashbulb kite that Kite-Man has. So it kind of brings into question, like, does Kite-Man have a full assortment of kites like Batman has batarangs back then? So then Kite-Man goes to make his escape with this giant kite that we saw on the splash page originally. And then Batman chases after him with a dragon kite that I don't think is even in the story up until this point. I don't think we really see it in the background anywhere. It just, we're just assuming Kite-Man has all these kites stashed in his hideout now. But then Batman's able to get the drop on him. They capture Kite-Man. And then they put his getaway kite up in the trophy room of the Batcave. And we can also see a penguin here, and then I guess that's part of the robot dinosaur there too, also in the Batcave. So it's kind of neat seeing a couple other items in there. So that is the first appearance of Kite-Man. Again, so this is his first appearance. We're not using the secret identity of Charles Brown yet. I feel like that's kind of a meta joke for 1960, and that was something that was probably added later. I'm not sure exactly when that comes in. But yeah, so there it is, the first Kite-Man, sort of a quirky, sort of loser villain in the Batman Rogues Gallery. And again, I don't think a lot of people realize this is his first appearance because he's not on the cover of this issue. Again, it's an older Silver Age comic. There's a lot of, there's multiple stories in the book, so only one on the cover. But yeah, let me know what you think. Have you read this before? It is available to read on the DC Universe Infinite app. I don't think it's in print in any collections. I know DC started to do the Batman Silver Age Omnibus line. It's not in the first volume, which is the only one that's been released, but if they continue that series, it should be coming up in there. Are you going to check out the Kite-Man cartoon that's, a spinoff of the Harley Quinn show? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.